last time on the Empire's Edge, you believed that this had been a consecrated space. You could just walk in and tell that it had been, but something ripped that consecration right out of it.
Oh, I wonder if that's what caused the explosion.
Or is at least related to
Right.
it. Am I detecting undead?
Now, does it seem like whatever was there got up and walked away, or that they just hadn't been filled because maybe the lineage hadn't died yet?
Let's poke it.
Wait a minute, before we proceed in, is there anything above this doorway? Is there anything to give us a clue?
Abandon
that
all
maybe,
hope, ye who enter here.
Maybe.
It looks like it is a column like that in Azongo's tower, and on it, it looks like there is an Adley tree statue.
I'm there. I'm going to pick up the leaves.
Your hands pass right through the leaves, and you realize that the entire thing is illusory. So it is an illusion. You've determined that by the spell. What do you do now?
Yeah,
Dispel magic? See what it really is?
No. The floor we're standing on is magic.
yeah, it's a targeted thing, not an AoE.
I don't know.
Just because you're uneducated and hiding in a doorway doesn't mean we all are.
I'm not saying I'm
The column's a
uneducated.
magical splitter. It just sends
That's
it in
what
all
I'm saying. It's like,
directions.
the DM just says, you dispel magic? Cool, all right.
I'm pretty sure the illusion is that it appears to be something. I put my hand through the leaves. There's just nothing. There's just like whatever force
Now,
tray is
your
conjured.
hand did come in contact with something, like at the base
the
of where the leaves
conjuration
should be.
effect. That I'm guessing
Right.
that's a tray they'd sit on if they were here. And I wave my hand through the trunk to either confirm
Yeah.
or deny my point.
The trunk is definitely an illusion.
The
and
column? Is the column an illusion?
The-
I'm going to go up and touch the column.
The column is not an illusion.
The column is not
Okay,
an
so
illusion.
the platform's real. The tree is illusory. We don't need to waste the spell slot.
Touch the column with your hammer.
I touch the
more
column
the
with my hammer.
Argolian steel stuff.
Yeah, it does not have any effect whatsoever. It just does.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna head back out then.
So the column is real. There's nothing else in this room.
No,
There's a
nothing.
40-foot drop to a river.
Yeah, and so is it like a cylindrical room or round room in some way? Like we're in the center of it? Or
It is a cylinder. So looking at the actual nature of the room itself, it looks to be the exact same size as the room that had the constellations in the dome above it. So it's about 75 feet across. It's about 100 feet high from the floor to the base of the dome. Then the dome is up overhead. People what know nature-y stuff or stone stuff, go ahead and make the appropriate roll.
Can I misconstrue that into a siegecraft?
No, not for this determination we're looking at.
can I actively not
Add
understand?
perception or add nature?
Add
Or survival?
It's a nature roll.
nature?
Oh, 13.
22.
Okay, so the 22 of Jacob points out to it, and he's like, Zealot, isn't that a kind of stone called azurite? And it is. It's a blue natural stone. So somebody either formed it together or had just the most massive piece of it, and carved this entire dome out of what looks like one piece.
One piece of stone.
Huh.
Or it was magically made?
How high above us is
About
the
100,
dome?
about 100 feet,
100 feet.
and then whatever that's where the dome
Why?
starts.
Why
Are
would
we-
this all be here?
And are we in the center of the room, or did we go to the other side of this?
You're in the
cylinder?
center of
Okay.
it still, yeah.
Well, we're in the center of it. You kept insisting that you were by the door.
No, that was after we went off air last time. I was actually out there with you guys.
Yeah, I hadn't assumed that too. You're out there too. But the dimensions are the same. It's just that there is no star field in that one. It's just this pale blue light. And then there's some kind of, you would think has to be magic that's below the surface of this floor, this clear transparent floor that is illuminating it from down below, because light does come up from down below.
Is there anything on the column, any writing, any buttons, any depressions, anything on the column?
With your perception checks? No, there's nothing like that at all.
So why? Why
Well,
create
this
whole
is
space?
where it belongs. Somebody moved it.
No.
So when you did
So
your...
you think somebody moved it and set this up to trick people to think that it was
No,
still here?
That this is where it goes. This illusion's part of this dome, like the ceiling, like what I'm guessing is a horizontal wall of force. That this is where it belongs, illusion included. Somebody got to it first.
So with your detect magic and you concentrate a little bit longer with that, you would have picked up on that the actual, the surface that Boris's hands hit that's on the line between where the illusion of the trunk is and the illusion of the leaves is like a floating disc spell, but it's somehow made to be sustained. It doesn't have the typical duration, that it's as though someone did that and would have set those leaves these stone leaves of the actual statue right here to complete the image of it.
Wow.
There's no other reason for it to have that thing that would actually hold up weight.
So looking around this area, the invisible path that we walked along to get here, does it?
By the sound of it, the invisible floor. It wasn't like we were
Right.
snaking around through it. It was
Yeah.
just surface.
Right.
So does it just end here, or I want to like search around to see like does it maybe split off and go in a different direction? Like, is there another potential?
Yeah, you've determined, Jacob,
entrance
that it's
along
not
the
even
end.
splitting off. The entire floor surface, this big circle that's the entire footprint of this room, is some kind of a force that's holding. You could walk anywhere in here, and you're walking over what looks like flowing water down below.
And there's no niches, there's nothing else in this room because it's all just been carved from solid rock.
That's correct, yeah. Now,
This
the,
is
the rock
weird.
walls on the side look to be a granite, so it's not the same as that azurite
Right.
that's the ceiling. Jacob, go ahead and give me another survival.
I can do that.
Well,
11.
Okay. No, I was going to say something about the water down below, that it does have a current to it, but just looking at the current, you can't tell anything else about, the water, the nature of the water,
Okay.
beyond just that there's current to it. Okay.
Using my like again, just sticking with that internal compass though, can I at least get like direction the water's flowing? So
Yeah, so with your internal compass, you're thinking to yourself that it's actually flowing toward the northeast.
okay. So
So
I'll-
I guess we just head back out again. So the tower that we scried with would have thought that this is where it was, but now we don't have any idea where to look.
Our best leads we could try that like smaller keep that was being implied by the tomb under the Zalata's house, that it's another connection to some of the old families where we found one. And it's worth a shot.
Back in.
No,
Oh,
it was
back here,
it was
yeah.
implied to be south-ish of
Does-
here between Sarntar Azul and the Gate of the Ages.
would that be a shortfall of the tower though? Is it actually not centering on the location of the leaves themselves as an item, but rather where they're supposed to be?
I always thought we were kind of looking back in time from when the tower was built, because remember we could see how the city looked at the time that it was in its prime.
Yeah, well, like when we focus specifically on what it used to be or what it was, I remember we do that. But for the most part, I think it was giving us live, like if we just focused on Karn Keldly, it showed us Karn Keldly. And then when we focused on Shabana's mission, it still showed us Karn Keldly.
Well, yeah, because the two are really in the same spot. There's no difference from one to the other
But
one.
I mean, we went there because of the poem. We didn't go there because of the tower.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, thinking of when we've thought about other items, like when we were in the tower, have we looked at any other items or was it always
No,
locations?
It was always locations.
Yeah.
Always locations. And
And again, we were scrying based off of the poem Michael recited,
Right.
or the information Michael provided, rather.
And last point, that what he had said, you had brought this up a couple of episodes ago, and I believe, Jacob, that you had said, I want to see if I can line up the peaks and the valleys and whatnot into a mental image. You are assuming that was a place way, way back when you guys are heading down to the Throne of Indar and the Gate of the Ages, that you could remember, and you made this determination in the Zalatis sub-basement area, that this looks kind of like, the details on the walls looks kind of like on the way down from the city of Sarntar Azul to the Gate of the Ages. So that there could be a place further southwest that would be like that Zalatis garden that was.
Well, there could also be another temple this area is
who knows?
huge.
It could be a keep. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So
All true.
I guess we get out of here and go and try to figure out where the next temple would be.
All right.
Yeah, and there's no. Yeah, we've already walked down this entire path. There would be nowhere for me to look for tracks to know when a person would have walked through here. I didn't even think about that beforehand.
Right. Yeah.
One would assume sometime between the explosion and now, but for all we know, that's what caused the explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
'cause we did look for tracks. Remember, you said something
did
about
at the
when we
beginning,
first were looking down
On
that
the
thing.
first ramp.
There was no way of knowing on that first ramp that we saw any tracks. So yeah, whoever came through here must have come through here a long time ago.
Yeah. All true. So same order walking back out. Any last things anybody wants to do down here?
I got nothing.
Yeah. I don't.
Same marching order.
All right.
I don't know anything to do down here.
Is there anything to take? And we've passed our
I
hands
don't
through
want to take anything because I think taking something could wake up all these warriors. I think we keep it quiet and get out.
Is there anything to leave? Like
No.
leave a note?
No.
Okay.
All right. So then, Boris, you're the first one through the door.
Mhm.
And as you're stepping up onto that first part of the ramp, everybody make perceptions.
Okay.
19.
12.
There it is. 27.
So then, Boris and Jacob, you both hear the same sound. You probably pause in that moment that something sounds a little bit like old leather creaking,
Oh, crap.
or it sounds like it
Oh,
is
boy.
like so movement, things happening, but not like one or two, like popcorn starting to go. It sounded more like a wave or like leaves being blown by a breeze far off.
We were estimating there was, 50 bodies in each of those?
75 to 90
75.
Yeah.
per room.
All right, wait. Can I dispel magic on the floor and we drop into the water
Nope,
and get
you
out by
can
the
continue
water?
smacking your microphone.
Yes. Unless you guys want to fight through probably close to 400 enemy hostiles.
Yeah,
let's do it.
taking a look at the water, do I feel like it's deep enough to cushion our fall?
It's only 40-foot drop. We'll be fine.
Yeah, 1 block of water is all we need to negate fall damage.
No,
All right.
I mean that even just dropping 60 feet will be fine.
This is fair.
I'm
All right.
going to cast Wall of Thorns on the entry to make it harder to get in here.
Okay.
Dispel magic, and we're dropping into the water. Everybody ready?
I think you're probably going to have to make spellcraft.
That doesn't
Yes,
exist
not
in this edition.
spellcraft.
Secure your tight, tight all your gear up.
secure hammer, backpack, shield, all that. So that way I don't lose anything on any impacts or to current.
Okay.
That would suck.
Jacob, anything you do to try to secure your gear any better for this?
Yeah, anything that's loose on me, I'll stow it, and then
Don't you have a special case for things?
Yeah, your arrow, your double
Oh,
quiver
yeah,
for
I-
your arrows.
I have the other quiver, but I also have the special quiver that holds all that extra stuff. But anything.
Yeah, we'll secure stuff as best we can.
Yeah, so anything that's loose, like I said, I'll stow it away, and then
I
make
grabbed
sure.
the magic bag I've had this whole time.
Yeah, bag of holding, throw it all in there. Yeah, and then prepare to drop.
Yeah,
Centering
and I-
myself above water just to negate as much of the fall as
Yes.
possible.
I make I make the same preps.
All right, so everyone has their stuff battened down as much
You
as
put
you
stuff
can.
in your quiver too?
Yeah.
And it takes, a minute even so. And it is quite clear, the sounds that there are multiple beings marching down that ramp. And with
They're
that,
probably starting to bash at the wall pretty soon.
with that, what you also hear is a scraping sound. And you realize that they are so
It's their
thick
shoulders.
that they're dragging along the walls as they're
Polished
going
all
down.
that, yeah.
So they are heading down those stairs. So let's
boy.
just do this as a knit so I know how far away we are from them coming into the room itself. Okay.
I think you rolled high like you're supposed to. That's good.
So let me hear these numbers.
4, and I choose to believe I'm deliberately holding my action to guard the door.
Got it?
14. Likewise.
And
20.
okay.
I am ready to Eldritch Blast if one comes through before the floor disappears. Because
Yeah.
I'm not pulling my hammer because I don't want to lose my hammer because the floor is going to disappear.
Yeah, and I've already stowed my weapons, my bow specifically. I don't have a weapon to attack
Hey,
with.
you
Good
still
luck
have
kicking.
You still have harsh language.
Yeah,
You can cast.
No.
You can cast Vicious Mockery. I didn't know
I
you were
wish.
a bard.
I will. I think I have a dagger. Like, yeah, I
Ooh,
just a plain
violence
old,
dagger.
not that one, just
Oh.
a plain old regular dagger. I'll have that in case just anything happens. I just
Okay,
need
yeah.
to have a sharp
A
object
true
in my hand.
holdout weapon.
Yeah.
All right. So then that was Zelen at 20. 20, go. You're right. You're at
Yeah.
the top of the round.
So 20. I cast Wall of Thorns on the doorway so they can't get in as well, and I cast Dispel Magic on the
Those
floor.
So that'll be a next round.
Yeah, those are two different actions.
Yeah. So you're doing the wall of thorns then.
Yeah, I
right.
do the Wall of Thorns.
All right. And what's the area that it blocks? How big an area does it close?
I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, let's bring that up and let's see just what it does, Zelen. And if it does damage to them, if any of them are already in the area of effect, I want to know that too.
You can choose to make the wall up to 60 feet long, 10 feet high, and 5 feet thick.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose to make it so that it fills the doorway.
Okay. Well, the door's
You
only
can
10
also-
feet wide. You can make it go lengthwise down the length.
That's
How
exactly
tall
what
is
I'm
the
going to
doorway?
do.
About 12 feet high.
Well,
Yeah.
just with that 10 feet, make 6 5-foot thick layers. of it
Yeah,
just
that's
going
what I
back and
mean.
forth.
I'm just gonna. So I'm thinking of it being like a flour sack that I have a certain amount of mass. So I'm going to make it so it fills the doorway and then shoves into the hallway.
Okay.
I'm going to make the full mass.
A doorway size shape that goes as deep as you
that
can.
goes as deep. Exactly. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, when that, and it just comes into being. It's not like it like slowly grows. It's just like when it's there.
It's just there.
Right. So what does it say about things trying to pass through it?
They can't. They physically are incapable of doing so.
And when the wall appears,
kind of
each creature
damages.
within its area must make a dexterity throw. On
Okay.
a failed save, a creature takes 7d8 because I'm casting this with my with my staff.
Okay, twist your 7d8 for me, and I'll roll my saves.
Oh, they're already here?
Yeah, well, they're in that hallway at that length.
She just made
as
us-
far back as it goes.
She just made like
Will you give me 2d8s?
30 foot thick.
Oh,
Will
yeah.
you give me 2d8s?
2D. I do actually have 2D2. There you go.
So you twist it up. Let me know the numbers.
I roll it one time.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are too many low numbers over there. Don't worry, he hasn't seen it yet. You can just roll again.
25.
Okay. So
What kind of damage?
On a failed save, a
Piercing?
creature
What
takes
kind of damage?
Piercing, right? 'Cause it's
Piercing.
Thorns? Yeah.
a creature can move through the wall, but slowly and painfully. Every 1 foot a creature moves through the wall, they must spend 4 feet of movement.
Nice. So it's like double.
The first time a creature enters the wall, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw. It takes 7d8 slashing damage.
Slash. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
the-
the wording is the first time it enters the wall on a turn or ends its turn there.
Yep.
yeah.
So when it starts to move through and when it ends its turn, because they need to essentially move 120 feet to get through this 30 feet of wall as they're
Right.
just pushing through.
Right. So yeah, that's like they're bracing themselves to push forward and they're slashing themselves as they go
But
through.
definitely
it.
bought time.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
no, I'm good.
There are a bunch. There's no cry out. There's anything else. But you can hear
They're
again.
dead.
it's-
I don't think they
it's-
would.
It's like the sound of not even bones breaking. It's like knuckles cracking. It's like something being kind of like rolled and broken, creaking of leather, but it's still just driving itself slowly forward.
Well, I don't think I said. I hate this. I hate this a lot. I hate this an absolute massive amount.
And as you're looking at what light there still is, it's suddenly eclipsed, but you can see that there are multiple tiers of these things that are being caught into it, and even potentially more than just the volume of that first and lowest room. So a lot of things were back inside there. Any other actions, Jacob?
I am
Boris?
I am holding my action. Well, you were first. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have any weapons. I just wait. I brace for impact.
I am holding action to fire Eldritch Blast as soon as one goes through,
All right.
because I can't hasten or do anything about removing the floor.
Okay, so on their round as they're pressing through, I believe they take that damage again, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yep.
So again, taken.
All those D8s. Yep.
Or is it just the same damage again?
No,
it's
it's
7
7
new
D8s
damage.
each
New
time.
ones each time. Okay.
Much better.
So she's already thinking she'll roll that better. Did you roll a 10-sider in among all those?
Maybe.
I said the one closest
Yeah,
to you was
that's
a
a 10.
10-sider. Yeah, re-roll that
She
10-sider.
rolled max damage on that D8 for 10.
Yeah, she's got
No, no,
Oh,
no.
yeah,
The
that's a
pink one
D8.
closest to you. The pink one closest to you.
Yeah.
The one currently showing a 10. Yeah.
That's, yeah.
You already rolled that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
How many do you have?
I have 6.
You need one more.
I need
Here.
one more.
Borrow that one. Here you go. Well, you didn't roll more than 8 on the last one, so
10, 20, 34 points of damage.
Wow, much better on that one.
last time you rolled with a D10 and you rolled better when you lowered the dice.
All right, so there are a number of them as they're pressing forward seem to have been destroyed and unmade in this thing. So there's just stuff
It's getting
hanging
even
there.
more complicated.
But others are still pressing forward.
Am I allowed to move?
Yes, you have your full move.
So I'm going to back up so I'm farthest away from the door. So one, I don't lose that concentration spell.
Make
If
sure
they-
you're over water.
Yeah, if they get through, and 2, I have the time to cast my dispel. So I'm backing up to be opposite in above the water, but opposite from the door.
We
away
should
from
have
the door.
another round before they start coming out.
Exactly. Yeah, and you would. All right, so then Boris.
Holding action to fire.
All right, so then one of them that was was at the front of that through these different sounds, you realize that there is coming out of this wall, these beings you can't even see because of these like walls of thorns that you'd cast up, Zelen, that you can hear language coming through it.
Freaky.
And I'm not sure what kinds of languages you
Gross.
have.
Common and Celestial. I'm not the most literate in the party.
I'm
Alright.
common, druidic, and elvish.
All right. And,
He's like the rest.
Yeah, Draconic, Elvish, Giant, Thieves' Cant, and Elvish.
all right.
Oh, I
So
already said that. Yeah.
it is not any language any of you recognize, but Boris, you get the impression that it is the opposite of that celestial. But
Oh, wow.
Gross.
everyone go ahead. Oh, looking for an inference. What is the, I forget what the word
Insight?
Insight, thank you. Ever make an
The
insight.
role I'm best at.
Oh, nice.
17.
23.
7.
Both Boris and Zelen realize that what he's actually doing is stating not a challenge, but he's stating what would be like a sign, and he's waiting for a spoken countersign. You would infer that by the nature of his tone. You can't even see him. He's still like pressing himself forward.
Is it a chant or is it just one person speaking?
It's one person speaking.
Got it.
One person speaking with about a couple hundred voices, or
It is one person speaking.
Do I, okay.
remove the floor.
Have you leveled up as
So
a...
that was
That's
all
written language.
That's
Shut
all
up.
on
Dang it.
3. He's actually not even quite through to where he'd be coming through into the room. Top of the round.
I remove the floor. Dispel
All right,
magic.
So dispel magic. Now redispel. I'll make sure that that a save actually makes it go away, or however that works.
It
So-
depends on the caster level or something.
Right.
Let-
That's
let
what,
her- let
that's
her
what I
read
want to
it.
hear. Yeah.
Okay,
I
hold
was just
on.
buying time while she was looking it up because I doubt she had that prepared as soon as you said, hey, read me Dispel Magic. She's like, as a matter of fact, noted right here, sticky note on my desktop.
Why do I have it up then?
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell level of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your own spell casting. Now, I can also cast this as a 4th level spell. When you cast this spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, you automatically end. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Okay,
I'm casting it.
so for those who aren't fluent in Natalie, for each spell level of 4th or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting
That's what she's
ability.
gonna do. That's what she's gonna do.
Shut up. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends. So what she's banking on is that it's a 4th or lower spell to end it automatically. If it's 5th or higher, she's gonna have to make an ability check.
So I cast it at 4th level.
All right. So when you cast this thing, you are immediately falling,
Oh, thank God.
which sounds like a crazy thing. And then just a second or 2 or 3 later, the 3 of you hit the water. You're now in it, and you're aware of that there is current, but you don't seem to be going very far out of this thing.
Hold on, physics question. I don't think we would have made 3 different splashes.
No, that was just like all at the same time. No, it was simultaneous. You're all dropping at the same rate. Now,
But I am heavier, so
doesn't matter. Yeah. But as you're all hitting that water, you surface, you come back up. You can tell that there is light that is actually seems to be either cast or coming from the stones underwater, and that's what was shining things up right here. But there doesn't seem to be an obvious way out along one of the peripheral walls.
Okay. Are we being immediately pulled in a direction by a strong current, or
There is current. You're being taken toward what would be, on the face of a clock. If the door itself came in from the east side, then you are being like kind of swept or kind of drawn toward the northeast.
okay? And I'm imagining like does it just continue as this large open cavern, or are we going to some sort of a cave?
No, you
thing
haven't
as the
gone
water
anywhere.
continues?
You're still in the cylinder of this space that's down below.
Okay.
Right here.
Zelen, can you conjure woodland beings and get them to turn us into like fish or something?
Yeah.
Because I think turning them and us into fish and then the bunch of us swimming for it is probably our best avenue.
Now here's what I'm wondering: is there a write up in 5e for casting while swimming?
No, because you can cast normally.
Can you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not aware, but we're not going to.
5e's great.
We'll see. You can
just
tread
cast
right
normally.
here. But now that you're in the water for a few moments, she's getting her stuff ready. Jacob, did you make a survival check a moment ago to ask you something? Go ahead and make one.
Like I
Because
said, you had us do
I
insight.
intended to.
Survival. How was a 21?
You can feel the current like kind of pulling at your feet, and you think that there's a passage that's just below the surface of the water, maybe 8-10 feet down, and that's where the water's being drawn to. So that's
Okay.
why there's not like a cavern. You'd have to, hold breath, go under, and then find this cavern if you wanted to go that
Yeah,
way.
definitely turn us into fish because I don't know how long it's going to be if we'll even be able to hold our breath.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll conjure woodland beings with my fairies, have them turn us into fish.
All right.
What are they doing up there? Are they dropping into the water?
I would imagine you're focused on your spell, or are you going to hold around and observe what's happening? Up
No,
above?
I'm not gonna-
we
I'm gonna
know
focus-
because there's stuff dropping on our heads.
I'm going to focus on my spell.
Okay, so then that was at 20. All that happened, and so somewhere around it's like 18. You guys are hitting the water. You're riding yourself, but then Jacob, you're up next for whatever an action
Yeah,
would be.
I
back
probably
here.
have to swim more aggressively than then because I'm slightly dipped in steel.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I've got a
Ooh.
19 strength, so
Yeah, keeping eyes peeled on the entrance to see if they do start coming down that
They're
way.
like
and
very-
just-
they're very
same
silhouetted.
with blasting powers.
Yeah, they're very much silhouetted against where that light is above them, the light shining up from down below. That you can see that one of these things, one of these corpse-like things, dried. It is finally pushed through that wall of thorns. He's been just ribboned by it, but he's still going, and he's the first one to actually have come through. And as he comes through, he's dropping down into the water. He
Okay.
didn't even try to hold back and do something from there.
Now, a spell question that I have is Conjure Woodland Beings.
Yes,
and
it's a
25.
concentration.
And was the
And-
wall also concentration?
But here's the thing: I cast the wall with my staff. So would that be a concentration, or does this? Do I have
don't
to
know.
concentrate on
You're
it?
the one that made the staff. Does the staff allow you a
Staff
secondary
pre-existed.
concentration?
Yeah.
Oh, does it? Okay. Does the staff allow its
I
own
think
concentration?
technically it's your own concentration.
Being-
25
You're not
versus
the
armor
DM.
class.
But being put through the staff, you still have to concentrate as you're casting the spell.
Okay.
So if I cast Conjure Woodland Beings, I'm losing Wall of Thorns.
So we drown or we get clawed to death by 100,000.
We
zombies.
don't know if we're going to drown.
No, we're just saying they're no longer impeded to come through. But
Right.
I think but now we have the beings they can cast on their turn the spell and we can just get out of here.
Yeah, turn us all into fish and we all swim away.
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
So
you
that way
still
we
done
don't
around.
drown
I was just
trying to get away.
I was
from
just wanting to know, are they still blocked? And
Okay. Yeah.
no.
4, Boris.
Well, I was holding my action that as soon as there was a target, I was firing.
Right, you're
So
up.
as soon as there was a target, 25 versus armor class,
Hits.
and he takes 5 points of force damage.
Okay, got it. So
Did you do the adding your whatever?
I'm a first level warlock.
Oh, okay.
yeah, right.
Now it's your turn though.
Yeah, technically.
And so he takes that, kind of maybe even knocks him just a little bit, but still he drops into the water. And you have a good suspicion that if he were unmade, his undead state, he would have dropped in as a bunch of bones and separate
Yeah.
things. That he was still, a contiguous whole.
I have some deeply limited options right
and
now
dropped
because
in
I
the
don't want to
water.
lose my hammer. So I'm just going to keep kind of plinking at him and just hoping for the best.
I wonder, can you cast your Eldritch Blast through water at something? Does that
Yes, it has no effect. So yeah,
torpedoes?
on my turn then I'm gonna do Sacred Flame, make him roll a dex save.
And was that that's on your round,
It's
so
still
your
another
flame.
cantrip,
And
yeah.
the dex save does what? What does he have to do now?
He has to hit a dex save or he takes radiant damage.
Okay, so let's see. What's my DC?
15.
That's a 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
It's
so
like
he
I doubt they have
fails
a
it.
+8. That'd
Yeah.
be terrifying.
Yeah.
For 1 point of radiant damage.
Okay, so he's been taking that kind of stuff. It
I'm just hoping
sizzles
he's-
slightly differently, but he still seems like he's coming
Yeah,
on.
I was hoping he was way lower from having to push through
Right.
all of that wall of thorns.
Right. And then on his round, he is attacking you.
Okay.
Oh, they're that close, dang. Okay.
Well, he could swim his 30-foot movement.
Well, 15, unless he's got a swim speed.
Would these things have
okay.
any wisdoms?
All right, then.
Yes.
15,
Turn us into fish.
I take that back.
No.
I take that back. That he couldn't have gotten to you that fast because you guys have moved to the other side or further back from the thing. So no, he is swimming toward you.
Okay.
Nice, okay.
So top of the
See,
round.
That's why we ask all the good questions.
Yeah. Top of the round. Zelen, are you ready to go with your thing?
Yes. So I cast. I call my pixie army. They are
Are they
going.
pixies or fairies?
Pixies.
Pixies.
Okay.
They are going to. 3 of them are going to use one of their spells to turn the 3 of us into fish, but they can also cast confusion. Would these things be impacted by confusion?
You'll find out.
Do you have to roll, or do you just get a certain number of pixies?
She gets
I
8.
get 8
8?
pixies.
Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to direct 3 of them to cast, make us fish, and then all 8 of them to start casting confusion on those things, and then come with us.
Okay.
So the pixies stay with us.
All right. So
turn themselves into fish using polymorph.
sure. So and if it's willing polymorph, then you just go.
Yeah,
There's
we
no,
just go,
There's no
yeah.
save. There's your want to. All right, so Zelen, go ahead and roll in nits for them.
Can I roll one?
Just roll one as a group. That'd be a lot easier. There's so much going on.
Do they get a plus on their nits?
Whatever their dex is, if
yeah.
they have one.
Probably.
So they knit at 15.
Nice.
Okay, great. So yeah, so you're way above where my guy. They're rather way above that under you. So yes, you cast your spell, and then the very next knit is theirs.
Okay,
So
so
what are you
then
saying to do?
they, I'm telling them to turn us, the three of us, into fish.
Can I offer a counter?
Yeah.
We three and the three that turn us into fish become fish.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
these
yeah,
pixies staying doesn't matter if they're just going with confusion. We need the three that are us with us, so that way they don't get injured in this battle, and then we're suddenly not fish.
That's true.
Yeah. So okay, but they could only do polymorph once. So
Yeah, but we don't need all of them. We just need the three concentrating on
I know,
us.
but I'm trying to figure out who's cast what. So I'm
Right.
going to have three people. I'm going to have three pixies turn us into fish.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm
then
going to have three other pixies turn themselves into fish to come with us.
No. The three that turn us into pixies have other three turn those three that turned us. Because those needs to
They
stay
can
alive.
turn themselves into
Yeah,
fish.
but those three need
They
to stay
get
alive
one
for us to
casting.
remain fish.
Pixies 1, 2, and 3 are turning us into fish.
Got it.
Pixies 4, 5, and 6 are turning them into fish.
Okay.
So we're fish, they're fish, coming
it.
with us. The other 6, 7, and 8 are casting confusion on 2 of the
foes that are
bad
coming
guys.
down. Okay. All right, all understood. And that's all happening at 15. So the last thing that most people probably perceive is that you're now a fish with all of your stuff. It's a lot easier to be swimming inside here. You feel a lot less vulnerable one way and a lot more vulnerable in another way. And all the fish are looking at each other, and probably the Jacob fish is going to be taking point at this
Since
moment.
we're all the same at this point, I'll take lead and start going in the direction that I was.
80 feet per round in current direction.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Does the
Total,
current help push us even further?
That's dashing.
Oh, okay.
It's 40 feet with a single move action.
But I wonder if the area around us is also flowing in that direction. Do we move even faster?
It could be even faster than that.
I
yeah.
would
So
think if you're not swimming against stream. I
And you're
bet-
just a fish.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, you're moving quickly. The current wasn't that strong, but you're moving through that. Now, a couple things. Roll perceptions for me. Not sure if that works. How
Well, we
If
have
you're-
fish modifiers.
your fish mod? Yeah. So whatever
Oh,
that
yeah.
is.
Oh, I
Do we have
wonder
a
what
stat
kind of
block for
fish.
the fish?
Yeah. what kind
Quipper.
of-
Quipper?
Yeah,
Wait, how do you spell that?
Quipper.
I don't know why, but I wanted it to start with a C and then like Quipper. I don't know. Oh, those are weird looking piranha things.
Yeah, it's the only fish stat block I could find.
Okay. And you asked for what?
Perception.
Perception.
Wisdom.
10.
We're at a -2. Yeah. 12.
All right.
6.
That 12 is actually good enough. That you are aware that there are no other fish in this water. That you know that you are the only fish that are in this water right now. All right.
That
so,
could be bad. That could be good. We
Right.
don't
So
know.
moving through tunnely area, and you don't know what's happened behind you, but you know, Boris, you were aware that whatever that thing was, the lead one of those corpse-like things, would have gotten to you by this round in
Right,
its
yeah.
move base, swing speed. But it's back behind you in there now. You guys are flowing through a tunnel. Jacob, the current is pulling at you harder. Everyone make a strength check.
I say harder like we're approaching a drop off.
Dexterity, because we're not like, that kind of
No, you're not
animal.
maneuvering. I would think that you want to try to hold back against this current as it's pulling you much, much harder and maintain your control.
We are very weak fish.
Yeah. So I got a 2.
10.
All right, so you are all being swept into it. And Zelen, go ahead and roll collectively for your 3 pixies that are fish along with you, because there's 6 of you going through here right now.
They got an 8.
Okay, so, at 8. Yeah, so, same thing. You are all being whisked into like a chute of stone. You can see the sides are moving past you very, very quickly. And then you come out into a larger body of water. But then almost immediately you can feel there's a strong current, and it's very strong, and it's, again, pulling you in a direction. So dexterity, if you want to try to maneuver, try to stay to the sides of where this current is, or strength if you just want to fight directly against it. So you just tell me what it is you want to do as a fish.
And probably Dex, because
I
our
think
Dex is better.
I agree. I do Dex.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
For my lowest roll yet.
So I rolled a 14.
13.
5.
My pixies rolled a 16.
Okay, so the pixies are moving to the periphery of this, and that they are aware that they could maintain that position, like in the eddy current behind a stone, but none of the three of you did. So as you all start moving into the direction where the strong current is, then those pixies start swimming after you because they want to stay with you and help out where all of you are. And then you get whisked down like into this other chute, and it is very tumbling. There are some spots where you are in water, and some points you're in air, and then back into water again.
Wow.
It tumbles you. You're being thrown about where it is, but thankfully there's nothing in this that would indicate that there was like jagged rocks that were right here. I know it's a tough one. Roll your
Me and my 1 hit point.
Yeah,
Oh
roll
my
your
God, are we that weak?
roll your
Oh my God.
Fish!
yeah. Roll your perceptions one more time.
She didn't turn us into krakens. We're fish. -1.
And it's minus the intelligence? Is
Right.
that what you're minusing?
Yeah.
10.
We're doing.
Or, no.
This is wisdom based.
Wisdom
minus
is
2. Sorry.
13.
8.
Zelen, at 13, you're aware of this. You can't communicate it right now, but you do believe you're actually in some kind of a structured system and not just raw caves.
Got it.
That it could actually literally be some kind of a water venting or shooting system, or some kind of an aquifer let in, or a sewer, right, that you're moving through. And then it dumps out into a very, very large area, and you're now in water that does not seem to be moving, or at least not moving fast.
Okay. Jacob Fish, can you tell if there's other fish in this water?
I can't talk to you. I don't think we can communicate.
So each person has
circle
their
the
own
party,
ideas.
start going towards looking for shore so we can like turn back.
All right, so you note after you've all been
I'm guessing we're in
swimming
some kind of underground lake.
as you're circling around, you realize it's more like an underground cistern. There is no shore to this place, but you can find that there is another place where the water goes out. But the water coming out through here is a very, very mild current. You think you could swim to the next area and swim back. But this place that you're in, it took you a while to search through it or swim around it, is easily a few 100 feet wide, maybe twice that in length. It's a big cavern area, but it seems to be pretty full from top to bottom. Air pocket up at the top, but there's no shore to it.
Right.
And then if you'd want to swim down this other channel exiting out of it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
say we keep going.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no. Continue moving.
All right, so as you swim through that, you realize that after a bit of swimming, you're into another large area. Water's deep right here, and you can again hear that there is, or feel or sense that there is a current moving, but it doesn't seem to be like funneling you towards something. That it's almost as though all of this, it's like if somebody had a bowl full of water, or more like a rectangular tray full of water, and just tipped it a little bit, that all the water in this is flowing to a certain direction all at the same time.
Okay. So, I mean, I say we just flow with that water.
Yeah,
Just
keep going
with
until
it.
we
Yeah.
find a beach and turn back.
We're not
Right,
necessarily
yeah.
strong enough to fight against it,
Or
even
a
if we
room.
wanted to.
I mean, we might not end up on a beach, but in a room or in something where we
Shore,
can crawl
yeah,
out.
stand on.
All right,
Yeah.
so as you approach, you can see that there is a thin amount of water that is rushing up over what is tantamount to a curb, like the lead edge of a dam wall. And it seems to be that it would be, if it's running from one side to the other and uniformed, even without making a check, it looks as though it is been created by someone. It's been a manufactured structure. But to go beyond this place, there is still no shore here. It looks as though you need to jump that dam in order to get to whatever the place is where the water itself goes.
Do we want to try jumping it?
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah. Not a lot of other choices. Everybody make a dexterity check.
Like well, I guess we don't really have skills, so acrobatics would be a dexterity check.
21.
Okay,
15.
so Zelen goes right over it. Roll for your things too. Boris goes right over it.
Unnatural 20.
Oh yeah, and Jacob
15
too. Just
for for the pixies.
all hoops. So everyone just leaps.
Good time
Like
to
a
roll well.
bunch of salmon.
You're out of water, and you realize that the level down below is not significantly further down, but to a fish-sized
to a
body,
fish.
it seems like it's a long way down before you, again, torpedo back into the water, and there's enough depth there. And now on this lower side, it's again moving fairly fast. Now, to your advantage, there aren't like jagged rocks sticking up. It does look as though this was a made something. This was
Right.
a refined and defined area.
Gosh, this is long.
And then as it continues to move, and it's difficult to note how far you've actually gone, that very point that Jacob was making, with the current, you could have gone, twice the distances that what it could have been to actually
That's true.
swim it, or a greater multiplier to go that same distance. But as you're swimming, you realize that the water itself is getting shallower and shallower and shallower, but the actual tube itself is not just getting like larger and larger above you, that it looks like for a certain bit, you're going to have to start swimming in just like inches of water to keep going on to the next section. That the sides of this thing are spreading out. It's like it's for whatever reason made the water very shallow right here,
Right.
as it spread out very, very wide. And so you have less water to swim
I
in.
say we just keep swimming because we don't know what's next.
So
Yeah.
go ahead and make strength checks to continue through this, and it's going to be decreasing your
9.
swim speed by
3.
about a quarter.
-2.
My pixies scored a natural 20.
Okay, so the pixies again somehow just completely adept at moving as a fish. They're moving forward.
They're
and
used
you,
to being little weaklings.
Maybe, and you guys are really struggling. You've barely gone any distance at all. So then, after a couple of minutes, go ahead and try it again.
0.
10.
6.
So Zelen is starting to pull out in front of the two of you, and you can see that in a bit, either you guys need to go back to where there was more depth, and you can breathe. That if you don't start moving in the next round, it could be very difficult to be a fish living as it's gotten shallower. Now,
we are equally as strong as we are charismatic. The only thing we're worse at is being smart. We're not the best. It's fantastic. -2.
What's that?
16.
16.
Another -2.
All right, and Zelen.
7.
All right, so Jacob and Zelen, you're thinking that you'd be better off going back and trying again because you're gasping fish at this moment. There's like gills, splaying outward, trying to get more. Boris, you move forward enough that there's enough forward speed that water is passing through your open mouth and through your gills, that there's oxygenation happening, and that you're still able to keep going.
Yeah, I guess I'll loop back and I'll get like a running start, a swimming start.
Okay, so
Try and
sprinting
leap
swim.
and land.
going the other direction, even subtly, that little bit, it's just a little bit deeper, just right behind you, a little bit deeper. So moving about, you can worm back to where it's more shallow, but then coming back out, you'd still need to get through where it's deeper.
Yeah,
So
same. I'll do the same thing.
Boris, and everybody else, your next roll for your strength for swimming.
Aha. 2.
I did 14.
You're
Okay.
making us do strength checks.
I know.
We literally have a -4.
I got it.
Speaking of -4, 0.
Oh, wow. So
Nice.
even starting to go. So what was yours
I
again?
did 14.
So Zelen is moving forward. Jacob is just going to back up and start again. Boris
I'm
made
taking
no...
a look at what's ahead of us. Do I feel like Jacob could just swim better than this? Does he need to maintain a fish, or does he just take the 1 point of
Yeah,
damage?
does the water just go back down?
You don't know that your body could go through this because the ceiling is so low right here. Like I said, the height of this didn't increase at all. It just got really wide.
Try again.
You guys are in a crack in a rock that seems to be polished and well
So
made.
if we turn back, we're going to die.
It's about 8 inches, 10 inches tall. That's your
Okay.
ceiling height right now. Is your
So my
swimming.
second roll was an 8.
Okay, so now Zelen is stopped. Boris?
4.
Okay, so not moving there. What was the Pixies roll in that last
They're
one?
through. They made it through with 3 times.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have another round to try it again?
That was a
or-
-3. Do you like that one any
Yeah.
better?
Okay, maybe I asked the pixies to cast fly on us so we can get through this.
can't speak. We're fish.
I know, but I communicated with the pixies previously when I've used them. I've been able to communicate with them.
We've mostly mimed to stop
All
it.
right, so I'm going to try to mime to my pixies with my gills flapping
kind of dexterity
to
do
cast
fish
fly
fins have to try and
see if
communicate
I can
that?
get them
Fish
to
fins are
cast
actually
fly on
relatively
us.
nimble. It's just I'm not sure we actually can communicate.
I know.
that
Do
way.
we have the sort of insight to understand what a fish means like that? But also, I mean, we've spent enough time with Natalie and her flailing out of her appendages.
And
so
you
maybe,
know what
just
I mean
maybe.
by things, don't
yeah,
you?
because you're usually also shouting them too.
So it's all these senses all at once. So you've definitely gotten the Pixies' attention. They're just a little bit beyond where you are, and even like just a handful of feet beyond where it is deeper again past this spot. That's where they are. And they're aware of you and looking your direction. As to what they would do with it, I truly, truly don't know.
And whether they can
I'm gonna
cast
try
anything as
not moving
fish.
forward, but just kind
Oh
of.
yeah.
I'm just going to try like leaping out of the water to see if they can get what I mean to fly.
Yeah,
Okay.
but also, like, are they running into any issues
make a-
being fish to try and cast? 'Cause
Make a dex check. Make a dex check.
that's a
15.
Okay, so you leap yourself up and you graze the ceiling, but it actually puts you about the distance if you've been swimming it forward, and it drops you down into the water again. So you're a little further up than you were. You're closer to where Boris is right now.
Okay, I'm going to roll a natural 20 on my next strength. No, I was wrong.
Also no.
Or do any of you try to leap out of the water the way that
Well, I
Soren
thought,
just
I thought
did?
the ceiling was a bit too high to try that, but yeah.
Well, it's for a human being.
If it's a dexterity check,
It's a dexterity
Okay,
check to
13.
leap out of the water.
17.
You both moved yourself forward.
Okay, so try leaping.
14.
21.
21.
Okay, Natalie, Zelen is through
Okay.
and to the other side. You guys think in one more, you could do this once more again.
19.
7.
Okay, so Jacob is now through, and
7.
Boris needs on the next round to...
8. Am I dead yet?
No.
19.
And you leap on through.
All right, so we're through.
So you're in the deeper water, and deeper point you can swim comfortably, and then there's one more like area of current, and then as that dumps you out into a new holding area, even as you're coming through the water, airborne for a moment, and then dropping in, you know that off to your left-hand side, you saw what looked like cave that's underwater
Okay,
right here.
excellent. So I definitely swim towards that. The pixies are going to follow me. I'm assuming you guys are also swimming
Yeah.
towards cave.
Whenever we get there, yeah, we will be joining you as soon as we can.
Right.
All
No,
right.
well, you're with us. We're all over it now. We
Oh,
all
okay, I
got
didn't
over
realize
the
they were all
last hurdle.
stopping and waiting
Yeah,
for us in the
yeah.
next.
Yes. So you get to the edge of a shore, and I guess you're near to the point where you're beaching yourself. You're in just a few inches of water.
Yep.
Yeah, and then taking a point of damage from suffocation, and we're back to ourselves.
Just lay on there. Is that how you do it? You don't wait for anything else? I guess that's the most expedient way to do
Well,
that.
if I
As I-
can't communicate with the pixies to tell them to get rid of the spell,
All right.
I'm going to beach myself, and then the pixies, I think, are going to figure out. And,
I think they would too with
and-
that beaching.
and they will turn us back,
I
or
think
at
you just-
least turn me back, and then I can direct them to turn you
Or
guys
just
back.
dispelling
I was
it. Or
like,
however
as soon as we
works
take that
out.
1 point
Yeah,
of
as
damage,
soon as we
Yeah.
take a point of damage.
Yeah, so by one or the other, that you turn back into yourself.
So a brief moment of death, and then we're ourselves again.
Right. And,
Odd metaphor.
I don't remember if I told you guys. I hate this.
and
Oh my god.
you are somewhere beneath the Brimroar, and you're underground in this cave.
Jacob, can you tell at all where we are?
I cast light so we can see.
Oh yeah,
thank
and
you.
I'll roll a knowledge spelunking. Just you want a survival check, see if I can have any
Yeah,
sort of an
any
idea.
kind of knowledge or anything you'd have picked up intuitively as you're coming through this area.
Are
too.
we for any reason in mountains or forest?
No.
Technically, we might be under some mountains.
15 for survival.
Here's what you picked up on is that was happening. That for a lot of this, it seemed as though you were inside places that would have been like being made, human made. And then some places it was broken, you still passed through it. But then in the last couple of chambers, there was actually other tributaries, other whatever, headwaters, underground streams or something. So you think you passed out of the area that would have been under the sphere of somebody making these different water movement systems, that you're now out in the open.
Oh.
You believe you're flowing more or less toward the west. You're not sure at this point. You got so turned around, but you can't tell where you're going to be popping out. But you know there's so many tributaries that most everything in the system drains toward the Talfava River, but you don't know where in that system you might be right now.
Do my pixies
Yeah.
cast any light? Are they making any light in
I
this
did.
area? I know, but do they cast
no,
any
you
light?
have to direct them completely. I'm not.
No,
playing
I
your
mean,
pixies.
like, do pixies naturally glow
No.
or anything?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to also produce flame and look around this area. Does it look beachy? Does the floor look handmade? Is it like broken?
It looks stone. It is, just a stone cavern.
Does it look carved
It looks like it's been carved by erosion.
by water?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is no, you don't see any features like stalactites or stalagmites right here.
Okay.
So you would think it is truly a water cave
Okay.
and not like a drip erosion has made those features inside it. But that water's been flowing through here, who knows, for time out of mind through
Are
this
there
space.
entrances or exits?
There are cracks in the rock all over the place. There's
Right.
a few that are large that are off to your left-hand side, but difficult to say if you could like worm yourself down into or through one of them.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess
Well, I
start
could because I could
exploring the
literally be a worm, but
perimeter to see if there's any potential exits.
All right, so
Yeah, start
go
looking
ahead
for
and
the
do
best.
So there's
your...
cracks on the left-hand side, so I guess we start looking there.
Yeah, and it isn't like it's like, smooth rock this way. It's just a jumble of features in here that shadow is being created.
Yeah,
like
I'd
little
move
fissure and
to the
turn.
perimeter of the cavern.
Yeah.
So where the exits would be.
So go ahead and roll perceptions to pick up on what you can.
7.
And do you have any capacity to make a light source for yourself, Jacob?
Oh, I cast Produce Flame as well by grabbing a torch out of my backpack and
Okay.
lighting it on
the
myself.
old school produce flame. That with that multiple sources of light, it's a little easier to look to see what's happening because some of
we
the
only accumulated a fish's worth of water on all of us. really good for keeping rations dry. I'm also glad we broke camp.
Yeah,
didn't leave all
right.
our
And didn't
gear.
leave all our stuff
That
up there.
would've
The only
sucked.
thing we lost was our rope.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh man, a rope. That's a gold piece.
A silver.
3 gold pieces. We tied them together.
Oh man.
So some of the cracks, the fissures that you saw when the light shifted and you had a different perspective, those went away. But there is a large fissure to the left-hand side that you don't know where it goes, if it's been traversed.
Strictly speaking, we don't know where any of this
That's
goes.
right. That,
Jacob-
you could try looking to see if anything passes through there or gaining things, but you'd need to start
Yeah,
rolling
look for
When you,
survival
tracks.
checks.
Does
when
this
you
seem
bring your
inhabited
torch
at
over
all?
there, does the torch flutter or flicker? Is there air coming through this?
A fair point. Am I burning our only oxygen source? Do I need to stop doing what I'm doing?
The actual fissure in the wall is large enough that it's not blowing. There's not like a direct shift of air current, and the water behind you seems to be fairly not stagnant, but not moving. So it's not making that vacuum force either that would draw air into this space. But as he pushes his torch forward, he can see that the crack continues on into the rock.
I guess that's our only way to go.
I want to make a survival to think. Do we have a limited amount of oxygen here that just having an actual non-magical flame using unnecessary? What am I trying to say? Is using oxygen that it shouldn't need to be using.
Okay, sure. So did you make that survival?
13.
There's a lot of air in this cave.
Okay.
So it is coming in from somewhere. And you believe that there would have to be some kind of a vent toward the surface someplace because there's enough air here to breathe.
Okay.
And it's cool down here. It's the air's not moving, but it does not feel like it's pressing in on you or that it's stagnant air or something
I
like
just
that.
thought of like a natural gas deposit and the torch just explodes and
Okay.
kills us all.
I did think that
Yeah.
too.
Oops.
All
Roll
right.
credits.
So,
No, that was last episode.
Boris, are you going first?
Yeah. This seems as good a point to go as any.
All right. Does anybody unlimber weapons?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Taking-
Shield and hammer.
Yeah, I'll re-equip myself. Sword on the hilt, and then grabbing my bow and arrow.
okay. So you guys move through that cave. You travel.
Hey, are there any roots or anything?
No, there's no roots down there.
That'd be some plan to be this far down.
This is an adler.
Yeah, that's true.
No, true.
So as you are
100
traversing this,
400 foot tall tree, 400 foot tall roots.
it gets to the point where it is only about 1.5 feet wide. You're moving sideways through here. And it sounds like you're up first, Jacob. So as you're heading into or through that area, it just gets narrower and narrower and narrower, and actually never widens back
We
out.
eventually hear a clunk.
Where I'm wedged.
Back up.
And then it opens into a larger cavern, and the cavern space seems very large, maybe a couple 100 feet across and length just into the darkness. And in here, you see immediately there is sign of like water dripping, making deposits. That this part of this adjoining cave, or this one that it adjoins to, has columns, stalactites and stalagmites that have met, and a flowstone feature that's off to your right-hand side. But the different way that the floor, undulates, the way that it's just uneven and natural cavern, it makes it almost seem like different rooms you're starting to move through. But you also note, fairly quickly that there's also different kinds of things that are like on the walls, that there's life forms down here, albeit very small, insect-looking, salamander-ish looking things that are down in this
Hey,
space.
that's reassuring, if nothing else.
Right.
And we came in on the floor of this cavern.
You came in, more or less
Okay.
at floor level. The floors change, the
Sure.
heights go up and down.
Yeah.
At this point, looking to see which direction it might go into from here, it could be in anybody's guess, but it seems like the whole cavern complex is moving in this like westerly direction, and that would be the direction to follow.
Do any of the ports seem like they're going up? So
I was
we
gonna
can
say,
get back?
picking the trail that looks like it's going up the most.
Okay, yeah, that's a reasonable one. So,
Are you going to check for tracks before we
Ports?
get
I
onto
thought you
the
said traps, and I was like, "Whoo!"
tracks?
Yeah, I mean, I've already seen some life, but I guess
yeah, so you can
Just
do a
get an
survival on
yeah.
both that trail and that roll for other life things too.
do you want 2 or just one survival?
Just the one.
Okay,
Just the one.
22.
Yeah, so you're taking the route that seems to go up a little bit more, but you can tell it's just like an upper part of the same cave that's all of the same structure. And when it comes to tracks, that where there's like pools of water in this area of water, like at some points there's water to the one side or water to the other side. You can see there's things that have wiggled up out of it or wiggled down to it, or teeny little things that would be like insect tracks that are in the silt and the mud level have made a certain pattern, but nothing that would have been a bipedal
Okay.
or even a quadruped that's a larger kind of thing.
Share my findings, and then we continue on.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you walk for about an hour through this cave, moving ups and downs, moving along. You believe your depth has stayed relatively about the same, though, and I need everyone's perceptions.
You want a perception roll or like passive perception?
Just give me your passive perceptions.
18.
12.
20.
All right, so no one is surprised.
Wow.
You're being attacked by something that is shooting some kind of like a thread or a filament down to you from part of the ceiling that's up ahead and slightly ahead and way up above you. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is targeting Boris. All right, and it rolls a 17 and 5. Rolls a 22
Oh,
against
hits.
your armor class.
Dang.
And when I take that back. That was actually it was a 20 modified for the filament that hit.
Hit.
And you
It's
are
even more.
you are
he rolled a 22. Hits less.
restrained by this, and it is trying to pull you, and it actually like lifts you up. Your
What's its weight limit?
it's on the ground. It is not giving me a weight limit, so I'm guessing it's
346 pounds.
unlimited.
Its
Yeah.
weight limit is 347.
Well, no, it is 346 because I'm 345.
So
Ah.
let's go ahead and roll a nits
Oh, yeah, fair.
right now.
Have we been traveling for an hour?
Yes.
Because then my pixies would be dispelled, right? Because the spell lasts for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
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 Would have been gone. Even so, it's been more than an hour since all of that happened.
10 for me.
14.
4.
Okay, so their action then. So at the 14, somebody said 14. Was that you, Jacob?
No,
That was
that was
me.
me.
Yes, I'm at 10.
Okay, so Zelen, what are you doing? There's this like large insectoid looking thing that is in a crack up in the ceiling, and it has a filament coming out of like its forward portions, and it is attached itself to Boris and is hauling him upward.
But I can hit it without hitting him.
Yeah, you could think you'd do it pretty easily. It's hard to try to move him.
I'm going to cast Moonbeam.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I like just, oh, gosh, we're being attacked. Nuclear option.
right now.
Hardly at her level.
This is true. It hurts a lot more than you think it would need to.
So it's 14 points of damage.
All right, so yeah, it takes the 14, and then on who's next? 10, Jacob?
Okay. With my bow drawn, I'll take a shot at it.
Go ahead.
And do you have to cast anything, Hunter's Mark or something?
Thank you all for looking out for me. Yeah. As a bonus action, I cast Hunter's Mark, and you did just do damage to it, right?
I did.
So I can
14.
do my full complement of damage to this
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So where is my bow? There it is. Okay. All right. Shot number 1, owl feather fletched arrow,
Up.
and Hunter's Mark. To hit is a 22.
Definitely hits.
All right, that's for that, that's for that, that's for Hunter's Mark. 13, 14, 21 points of damage.
All right, yeah, taken. Now, next round, Boris, we're aware of this.
Doesn't he have
I
2
get
arrows?
2 shots.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just rude. All right,
I am
and
rude.
shot number 2 with advantage. Another owl arrow. That is a modified or unnatural 20 to hit.
Yeah, definitely. hit.
And nudge, you're a rogue. And just had advantage on
I
your
did just
attack.
have advantage, so I don't lose that. There you go.
You do have
Look at
friends.
you guys looking out for me. 17 points of damage.
All right, yeah, taken.
Now I'm done.
You're right. That's very good. So with that last arrow, it is severely. You can imagine nothing has ever injured this thing like this. Whatever this thing is up here, on your round, Boris, you're aware that it tried to haul you up and like you're like pulled forward a bit. That it doesn't have the strength capacity to lift you.
I was wondering.
and your armor up in the air.
He's very
So,
heavy. Yeah, I'm a little bit dipped in metal.
It moved you to a point, but you realized that it could pull all day and couldn't do that. So you could either try to attack it directly, or you could attack the string or try to break it. Whatever course you wanted to do.
Okay. As a bonus action, I am hexing it, and your second arrow was owl fletch.
Yes,
as
it
well,
was. You
right?
have advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. So with the hex, it has disadvantage on Moonbeam's a Constitution saving throw, right?
I don't know.
I think so. That sounds correct. I believe you. You said it with such conviction.
Constitution, yeah.
Yeah. So it has disadvantage on Constitution saving throws, and I'm shooting it with an Eldritch Blast.
All right, go for.
Okay, not that one. And the same. That's an 11 versus armor class.
And its armor class just shifted, and
211, I hope.
yeah, no, it misses it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that.
It's going to start its turn, and Moonbeam have disadvantage on its save. So
That's
I did
right.
something at least.
So
True.
Yeah, it takes disadvantage on that. So next round, top of the round, Zelen.
Okay, give me just a second. I can't remember if what level I cast this spell at. Because
The
I can
highest
do
possibly
more,
available.
I can do more damage if I'm casting at a higher.
Knowing you probably did.
No, I
cast it
didn't. I
higher.
cast it.
Oh. Okay.
It takes the damage at the start of its turn, not yours.
Oh.
You can cast something that isn't a concentration.
It's
spell.
only 1 minute. It lasts for 1 minute, so isn't it still going?
I know.
that's-
Yes, it
that's-
takes damage on
I
its
know that,
turn, not
yeah.
yours.
So you can do anything else
Would it-
that isn't concentration based now.
Oh.
Yeah.
So wait.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
not a whole lot.
yeah,
Go ahead.
That spell's just going.
Okay, I'm gonna do ice knife.
Okay.
Ooh, that one blows up. So
Is that bad?
No,
that's
just
good. Yeah,
read
go
it
for
because
it.
I don't know.
You
what
create
the-
a shard of ice and fling it
It's good.
at a
I'm-
creature. On
I have a
a
limit of
hit,
3.
the target takes 1d10. The target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dexterity or take 2d6.
Okay, so do I have a save on that first one you said?
I think it's just a
a
hit roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
So roll to hit.
That is not a D20.
Yeah, roll one of these guys.
You rolled a
Oh.
D10.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Man, I can't roll a big number on this thing to save my life.
You rolled better on the D10.
Do I get any pluses?
Yeah, you're to hit your spell attack modifier. It'll be right next to wherever you have your DC.
8 plus 5, so 13.
It hits.
Nice.
Can I keep the 9 that I rolled?
Is it a D10 damage for the dice?
Yeah.
Oh, so she didn't roll a wrong die. She just rolled them in the wrong
The
order.
wrong order.
And so it's 10. It's 9 plus. Is it plus anything, or is it just
Okay.
Then it explodes.
Okay, and the explosion, and then
The
then
target,
it's a save.
the target and each creature, that's a dexterity saving throw.
Okay,
And
and what's my
2d6.
DC?
That's the same for all
16.
your spells. Yep.
Yeah. I fail it.
7.
And with that piece of damage, it doesn't drop, but it settles into the crack that it's wedged in up there in the ceiling.
Do its little
The-
legs curl up?
That you just, if you could see it happen, you just killed a cave fisher. But you realize that there are large predators down here. You have no idea what direction Sarntar Azul is, let alone
Up.
any other part of the Brimroar Hills, and you are lost and alone underground. But you level up.
Thanks for listening. I'm Victor, the voice of Boris, as well as the shadowy force you've been communing with via our social media. For those who haven't yet, you can check those out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Empire's Edge. Be sure you share those with at least one person a week, or I'll take away your warlock powers. You can also support us at subscribestar.com/the-empires-edge for additional spell slots and invocations.